What are my thoughts on a postseason ban for Michigan football? This is a question that has been posited to me by Loftus_W. If you want to ask me a question and have me make a video out of it, join my Discord server via the link in the description. Navigate to the hashtag YouTube mailbox channel. Type in a question. I will see it, and I will get to it in the form of a video as soon as I can. We do this every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I withdraw some mail from the mailbox, and I answer it. And while we're here, I may as well ask you to subscribe, hit the bell. It's free, it's easy, it's simple. And also like the video to help us get into the algorithm. And comment what you think a postseason ban could mean for Michigan football. Michigan's expected to receive NCAA punishments within the next 2 months, I would say, before the season kicks off. Anytime in between then and now. My thoughts on a postseason ban would be that 1 year would be challenging, but it would be very workable because I don't think Michigan is expecting inside their building to compete for a title this year. Where it begins to get damaging is 2 years. And I think more so than that, you could talk about recruiting restrictions. You could talk about Sherrone Moore being given a show cause, for example, and therefore he can't coach anymore. There's a lot of different potential severe punishments that could be on the table. I say could because they're not guaranteed. I happen to think that Michigan's probably going to get some recruiting restrictions. I think Moore will get suspended for 4 games, not 2. I don't think he's going to be able to choose the games where he's suspended in, but I don't think it'll go much beyond that. If I'm wrong, then oh well, I'm wrong. At this point, I want to watch college football. I almost don't care about this, and I think any rational person doesn't. The people who do are partisan Michigan, partisan Ohio State, and I'm not partisan either of those. I am actually a fan of one of those schools, but I wouldn't consider myself partisan. If you cheat, you break the rules. Just don't break the rules. It's that simple. And then for the other side of the equation, if you're demanding that the team that has beaten you recently gets destroyed because you're annoyed that you're losing to them, even if it's to an 8-5 team with a service academy offense, don't try to use the moral high ground to try and make it so that they're no longer beating you. Because anyway, case in point, the whole conversation's annoying. You got the Michigan people who think that nothing's going to happen or that Stallions did nothing wrong, the latter of which especially is asinine and the former could be. You have Ohio State people who think that, Michigan is Satan. The only reason they've beaten Ohio State or the only reason Ohio State's lost to whether, Michigan or Clemson, these people have said probably the same thing, that the Clemson loss wasn't actually a loss. They just ran out of time or were cheated out of it. Every partisan side here is insane. So looking at the sides that aren't partisan, whether that's Pete Thamel, which is really the only source you have, or some others that have talked to him, it sounds like anything from maybe a 1-year postseason ban to basically the epitome of nothing is on the table, is what that kind of sounds like. The thoughts on the postseason ban are that, again, if you cheat, you break the rules, you can't complain, you can't whine when you get punished. I don't think Michigan would deserve anything more than a 1-year postseason ban. Ohio State got a year for Tattoogate, and I don't even think they should have gotten that, if I'm being honest, because their entire staff, well, not the entire staff, because they had the interim head coach, but Tressel, the man, the CEO of the operation, the president of Ohio State football, in a lot of senses, the number one guy, he had to resign. He had to. And that has an impact. That was a punishment. Oh, him and Ohio State cheated. Well, he's out of here. Michigan lost their entire staff from 2023 outside of Sherrone Moore and a few assistants, like Justin Tress, assistant strength and conditioning coach, and some analysts, and Harbaugh, too. Like, they're all gone. And that, whether people look at it that way or not, that was a punishment. And you saw that where Michigan clearly had a massive staff downgrade, and that affected their 2024 team and will affect their 2025 team in a certain way. If this roster with Underwood had the 2023 coaching staff, I would say they would be Big Ten contenders confidently. I think there's a world where they might win the Big Ten, but it's not confident at all and would require a lot going for them. So, in my opinion, the way that the ban for postseason play would be damaging would be if it's more than 1 year, because if it is just 1 year, they can wait it out since Michigan's win total is 9.5, and they're not even favored to reach the playoffs this year. This is a year where you build back, try and beat Ohio State again, maybe make it to Indy, make it at least to the first round of the playoffs, and you're good. It would hurt to not go, and obviously you would see maybe some players leave. Definitely would see some leave if it was a 2-year ban. Those are kind of my thoughts on it. As for what Michigan deserves or doesn't deserve, I can give you my opinion. Others can give you theirs. That's not really the topic of conversation, though. It's just my general thoughts on what would likely be the effects. The effects would be you'd get a hit to recruiting. The longer the ban is, the exponentially more of a hit it would be to recruiting. Beyond that, Michigan's not going to win it all this year anyway. So a 1-year postseason ban, it would stink. It would certainly not be fun if you're a Michigan fan. But is it really anything beyond that? And then for any other punishments for Michigan, recruiting restrictions, that would hurt. Vacated wins, it would be like Ohio State vacating their 2010 season. We all watched it. We all know that it happened. I don't care that Terrell Pryor was ineligible. It just is what it is, especially with the new rules. What I think will happen, I think is Moore gets suspended a few more games. I think that maybe there's some more recruiting restrictions or a fine. I don't exactly know what's going to happen. It's just what I think. I don't know anything. I'm not an insider. Don't pretend to be. Never have pretended to be. Those are my thoughts on a potential postseason ban. Thank you for the question. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and comment your thoughts down below.